Hi, I'm Arunprakash. I was secured as 39 in this UPSC CSE 2024, and I am 24 years old. I'm from Tamil Nadu, and I graduated in BECE, and I graduated in 2021. This was my third attempt, and in my first two attempts, I failed in the prelims itself. This is the time I crossed the prelims stage itself, and during the during my first prelims, and I started my preparation only after my college. I didn't start my preparation till then, though I had the aim of going through this civil service since my childhood. I had the dream of becoming an IAS by seeing the people in newspapers, especially IAS officers in my own locality, and then and the newspaper cutouts in news channels. I was influenced by all those good doings which they do, and then but I didn't do anything much for the preparation till my college. And then only after my college, I started to seriously analyze how to secure a job through this stream. And then I joined an institute in 2021, and I went to the for full time preparation. Didn't sit for placements and all. And during my first attempt, like everyone, I had a dream of becoming an IAS in the very first attempt itself, clearing prelims, mains, interview, and securing with an R100 the first attempt itself. But though I had given all the hard work, I couldn't cross the prelim stage itself. Apparently, I failed by around 6 marks in the first prelims in 2022. And then I thought that since I was going to the classes and as it was my first attempt, I thought that sitting for full preparation in the second attempt and understanding concepts and studying comprehensively will help me. Since going to the class itself was consuming a lot of time in the first year, I thought that second time will do, and I was doing current affairs and comprehensive understanding of each syllabus topic. But again, I failed in the second prelims also by zero point 0.6 this time. I thought that I was clearing till the final result by UPSC was released, but apparently I failed that time also. But the good thing was in the first attempt I was securing around 70 to 74 only in the CSET. I was fearing that I will be taken away by the CSET instead of GS in the first attempt. So I sat and worked for CSET during my second attempt, and this time I secured around 105 in CSET. I started working out many more problems and practicing. It helped me solve problems much more quickly, and it also helped me to solve questions strategically. I used to do in my first attempt. I used to do a lot of quants and mathematics-based questions more than comprehension. In my second attempt, I felt that it will be easy for me to go towards comprehension as it can save time for me as well as for my own attitude. I felt like it is easy for me to clear comprehension questions than the quants. So in the second attempt, I got around 105 in CSET, which was the only positive thing during my second attempt, as I was failing in GS again. And during my third attempt, I was very much depressed actually, failing by a whisper of zero point 0.6, and I was having more self doubts, and there was also societal pressure. As you guys who are seriously preparing for this service will know, there will be societal pressure. People around us will be going to big jobs, and our own friends will be settling in foreign, and also they will be marrying people, and meanwhile we'll be sitting in the same process year on year. Uh, so same like you, I also faced all those things. By this time last year, I think June 14, 2024, I didn't have much of a success. So I fell into films and I had doubts on myself whether I'll clear or not. We'll be seeing many more people sitting with 8, 9 attempts and not clearing this UPSC. So we will be doubting ourselves whether we are really capable. Can we do it? And I gave myself a break for say 1 month. I know that it will be difficult for me to start preparing the very next day after the result. It was very difficult. and mentally as well as familiarly. Uh, there will be many people questioning my abilities and even my own self. Let's leave others. And so I took a break for 1 month, refreshed myself, went for a few trips, and then watched more movies, which we wouldn't do during the preparation time. And I started my preparation by July, August by that time. And I have the same level of passion towards the service because it was my childhood dream. It didn't grow in middle of my graduation or after my graduation. Since it was within myself since my childhood, I want to go give a go for it once more. And then I started my preparation. This time, I thought that I should give more test series, and then I should also do proper revision. And I felt like in the first two attempts I didn't focus properly on current affairs things. So I thought uh, we should balance both static as well as current affairs. With respect to prelims in GS, especially uh, with growing level of complexity of the question. I remember my second attempt question paper was much more difficult than the first one. So I thought that I should strengthen myself in current affairs. UPSC is also trying to balance both statics and current affairs. As veterans who are giving more attempts, they will be much more stronger in the static part. They will be revising it for 7, 8, 9 times. Meanwhile, a fresher, he might not get the time to revise the static part again and again. He might be studying once or twice only, especially polity or the geography. They are big syllabus and people cannot revise it, freshers. So UPSC tries to balance both static part as well as the current affairs thing. They are giving more focus on current affairs recently because a fresher can also have an equal amount of chance in clearing the current affairs question. So I found this and I thought that I should focus more on current affairs since I studied the static part twice already, not twice, for 2 years already. And I thought that this is the time for me to focus on current affairs. So I started reading sometimes two newspapers if I'm getting time. And also I started doing current affairs magazines. And also I'm watching YouTube live discussions, news channels and all. So I thought that strengthening this current affairs thing will be adding to my mark in GS. And believe me, it helped me a lot because the current affairs thing, it was not just helpful for the prelims alone, but it was easy for me to apply in the mains also. And I also carried it towards my interview preparation. So going all around, the current affairs thing was very helpful during this year's preparation for me. And it also gave me a comprehensive analysis, not just sticking to blankly to the static part, understanding the concepts and seeing the evolution of each topic. It was easy for me to write my answers in the mains especially. And then this time I also focused on writing around, for GS I wrote around 70, 80 tests within a year. Meanwhile, in my previous time, I wrote around 20, 25 tests only. And solving more questions, I got to know those, there will be some tests where you cannot score many marks, but still giving more attempts, solving more questions, it will always enlighten us. It will give us new perspectives, give us additional information. Though we might miss those questions in the test, but if we go and revise those questions, if we check where we have missed, where our guesswork didn't work, if you're going to do it, obviously that question it might get reflected in the UPSC prelims also. So it was very helpful for me. Since I solved 70, 80 tests, it was easy for me to choose the right questions in the UPSC prelims. I know that for me, it will be better for me to attend 80, 85 questions in the UPSC prelims. And since I have given already 70, 80 tests, it was easy for me to strategize which questions I have to attend and to manage my time. And also how to attend the unknown questions. There will be few questions in which we will not even have a single idea. All four options will be very new to us. But still, if you are going to give more tests even before the main UPSC prelims, it will be easy for us to go and eliminate the options. We might not know the four options, but we might. It might be helpful for us to pick the illogical options. Okay, C and D might not work. Let us round us to A or B, and then maybe giving a little bit of edge to A. It was easy for me to manage those difficult questions. Obviously, it will not be helpful to solve 100 questions, but it was really helpful to solve some 20-25 questions. How to manage things in UPSC, UPSC Prelims, in GS. No one will know all 100 questions, but we will know around 25 or 35 questions for sure. We will know the answers. But still, we have to, if we have to clear, we have to score around 100 and we have to know at least 60 questions. Eliminating the 35, which we sure shot know, we have to attend another 25 questions for sure. That to right ones. So we have to go for at least 85 questions. And even if you are missing some 20-25 questions, we will be getting 60 questions right. So for that, we should be able to manage the remaining 25 to 30 questions, in which we might not have a comprehensive idea, but we should be able to eliminate the options. If we are coming to the 50% probability, it will be easy for us to get into the right side. This was the thing that I did during my after my second prelims. And then I also started to give more revision. It was not, we might study all through the year, say 10, 11 months. We will be studying, but if we are not going to revise in the 12th month before, say in May or April, the things which we studied during the April or May, we will be easily forgetting all those things. It will not be useful for us in the exam. So in UPSC, revision is the key. For me, I surely believe the revision which I did in May and April was very helpful for me to solve the question, not just to solve but also save time. I was able to pick the right options at the fastest time. So I'll suggest all you guys to allocate last 2 months of your prelims preparation for revision alone. You need not prepare new topics daily. Revise all those things which you have prepared for last 10, 11 months. It is key for UPSC prelims. And then I went for the mains. This was my first mains, and I was actually fearing because I was seeing veterans who were writing around 5th, 6th mains and all, and I was a newbie. I was literally shivering before them. I didn't know how to strategize, how to write answers, how to construct the structure, and I started. But still, I started to write the answers. Let us write, whether it is right or wrong. Let us try and get positive feedbacks with the answers, how to construct. Let the wise people give you suggestions, feedbacks, and then you incorporate all those things in your next test. The thing that I went doing. There was around 2 months for. I finished about my prelims preparation. Now I continue about my main turn. And I didn't do an elaborate preparation for main first, and I prepared only during the 2-3 months that was left after the prelims. Only with my option that which was sociology, I had a good amount of reading, which I didn't do writing practice earlier. So it was completely a new preparation process for me. Since I had failed in the prelims itself in the first 2 attempts, I want to focus more on the prelims itself in my third attempt. And I started my preparation only after that. And I found myself it was very difficult for me to focus on the names because I knew that I was a newbie and I had to compete with people who have given 5, 6 names and all. And it was very fearful. And then, but I wanted to give my best because since I'm clearing after 3, 4 years of hard work, I want to give my best for the names. And with, with or without knowing the answer, I just want to give a writing practice. Let me try whatever I have and then giving my answers to wise people, I would say mentors or teaching staff, and getting a good number of feedback from them, and then implementing or incorporating all those feedbacks in my next test. I thought that will work. That was the only possible thing for me to do in 2 months. I cannot become very well talented like those people who are given 6, 7 minutes. And I wanted to give my best alone. I can compete with only mine. That was my mindset during that time. And then during my During my main preparation, I analyze the QIQs, especially. I want to know how the questions are being asked. How can I strategize my answers? In which direction should I study? What part of syllabus is being focused in UPSC? So that was the thing that I was looking through, and I used to write at least 5 questions daily throughout those 60, 80 days. I used to write 8 questions daily, and for I used to write one GS full test weekly, and two essays at least. And without that one GS test, I used to write essay test every week. And I was new for sorry, not essay, it was ethics. And one GS test, one ethics test, and two essays at least in a week. That was my target. And I thought that if I'm giving this consistency all through 16, 70 days, it is going to at least be helpful for me to get to the bottom end, if not getting a good mark. And then at the initial stage, my answers were not of good quality, as you know, since I was starting the preparation only by then. It was not of great quality. But I used to look at the toppers answer copy and all. I used to look at the way how they start an answer, how intriguingly they are bringing the evaluator to read their answers. And I used to incorporate all those small things in my answer writing. With respect to introduction, though it is almost traditional to give a definition type of intro, it is always better to create an interesting intro, say, use a government policy or use the or thinking about the essay. And if not, two words, two essays per week, at least write one essay per week. It will be very helpful because in a span of say 60, 70 days, if you're going to write one essay per week, you'll be writing at least 15 essays. It will be very helpful for you to construct your answers, how to maintain a flow. In essays, the flow is very essential. In 3 hours, people will be writing GS answers, GS exams for 3 hours. Similarly, people will be writing essay, which is of only 24 pages for all 3 hours. Because what? Because for each essay, you'll be allocating some 1.5 hours, and in those 1.5 hours, at least 20 to 25 minutes must be spent for how to maintain the flow of the essay. What contents am I going to give in this essay? And you have to arrange all those things properly. You should maintain a flow from this topic to the next topic. It should be going in a flow. It should be slightly improved, a step-by-step approach. You cannot jump from first step to the final step. It will not. It is not a proper essay, right? Imagine reading a story. It should go in a flow, right? That is how an evaluator or a reader will be more interested in reading your essays. If he is more interested in reading your essay completely, that means you are going to get high marks. If he is bored, if you want to switch to next pages, that means the essay is not having a good flow. You are jumping from here and there. So in essay, maintaining the flow is very essential. More than believe me, for essays, you need not have a good, big, lavish English language. You need to have a simpler version of English, but a proper flow and properly conveying what you think in your heart to the evaluator. That is a very essential part of essay. And same in essay also, you need to conclude the essay very strongly. Whatever may be the topic, you should be concluding with honor high. Because though the evaluator will be reading all through the 12 pages, he is going to evaluate the last page more. He is going to, if you are leaving him on a high, obviously you are going to get more marks, at least 10, 15 marks. That last page is going to make a difference. And I think I've spoken about the GS papers also, and especially with respect to ethics. In ethics, maintaining the timeline is very essential because it will be, believe me, more than other GS papers, essay is a big paper. It is the difference creator. Because in other GS paper, however you push, you will be getting hundreds. But in essay, you can go past 120, 125. So it is a big difference creator for me. And then, especially those case studies. For me, I focused on the case studies first. Instead of the 10 mark questions, I used to write the case studies first. I wanted to give my best because since I'm getting 20 marks there for each question, I wanted to give my best in those questions. And then coming back to the 10 mark questions, and even if I'm having a time contingency, I will be able to manage those questions with a positive mindset if I have given my best in the case studies, which is going to boost my marks. So it also suggests you guys to pick the case studies first, and then easier 10 mark questions, and then the difficult ones. Especially last year, the ethics paper was a bit more difficult. So utilizing this strategy, I think it has really benefited. And then going towards the optional paper, my optional was sociology, and I studied it in in my first two attempts also, but I didn't have comprehensive understanding. Only during preparation for the mains, only when I had it in my mind that I'm going to do my mains with this preparation this time, I had all those positivity and the comprehensive analysis of each topic. And paper one, it was more about the sociological thinkers, and it was uh, a bit difficult for me to understand all those concepts within a span of 2 months. But I knew that the optional is going to be the difference creator because uh, there are few papers in GS, GS1, GS2, GS3, and also sometimes essay. They might not be a big difference creator, but ethics and optional, they are going to make me add one or out of the list or somewhere in the list, say 800, 900. So optional must be mastered by you. Pick the optional very well. Decide before picking the optional itself that you are going to travel towards this optional all through your process. Don't pick a random optional and then worry in the later stage. Don't change your optional. That will be my suggestion. Analyze all the optionals, understand in which option you have the highest interest, and then pick the optional. I was I knew that I cannot take technical subject as an optional because I knew that it would be more difficult for me. It depends on an individual. And for my personality, I thought picking a technical paper would be much difficult to score marks. And then I thought picking an arts-based or humanities-based subject, so I analyzed the question papers and syllabus before picking the sociology. And I found myself more connected to sociological syllabus. All those topics like caste, gender, tribes. I had my interest in those topics. So before picking any option, it might be any option, history, geography, every option is of equal standard. No option is much easy. So all depends on your own passion and interest towards this option. So I picked sociology because I had all those topics in the syllabus were fascinating me. All those topics we have found in our own society, but I thought that I didn't have an enormous comprehensive analysis of all those things. Caste, I know caste, there is caste, there's a topic called caste, but I didn't know why is this caste existing, what is the issue, how can the society be retrieved from the evils of the caste. So I had those interest and passion in this sociological option, and also I analyzed the question paper of sociology PYQs, and I found that questions were a bit easy for my own interest. I found quite few questions in that subject were easily answerable for me, and since I had interest in it, I picked the optional. So I would suggest all you guys to analyze the syllabus and look after the PYQs. And if you can find the interest in the specific optional, and if you think that you can travel throughout your preparation with that optional, then pick the optional. Don't pick the wrong optional and invest some 1 or 2 years in that and then go towards another option. So be very sure with your optional. You are going to invest years in it and you are going to reap a lot of profit with your optional. And then the mains, it went for 2 months, and fortunately I was able to clear the mains with a relatively good mark. and I went for interview, which is again first interview for me. I was again fearing because though I had studied in English medium school all through my academics, I didn't have that. I didn't believe that I had that speaking skill. Even in my own home, people were asking, "You don't speak much. How are you going to clear interviews?" Looking at the random YouTube mock interviews, people were questioning me. So you are very young. You don't speak much. You are a bit introvert. So how are you going to clear the interview stage where five people with vast experience, 60 plus years, everyone are going to sit before you and question you? And honestly, I too had that doubt within me. But positively, I started the preparation since it was the first film that I had cleared, and then I gave my mains, which is first mains, and fortunately, I was able to clear too. I believed in myself as well as the God. I thought that this is the time. This is the time I'm going to make through. So for the fortunately, I had around the 3 months. My interview was scheduled on March 26th. Fortunately, I had around 100 days in my hands, and I started speaking in English first. Oh, be it bring the coffee and move the table, whatever. I started to speak in English. The people around me were laughing, but still, it is a process. I can differentiate my first interview. Voice is low. I went for my first mock interview in December 1920 something, and I was able to hear the comment that an IAS officer sitting in front of me, she said that it was impossible for me to clear the interview because I don't know concepts, I'm not speaking boldly, and I'm having self doubts, all those things. I had given the first interview itself, and then I went down again, and my friends were able to control me. They said that one of my friends said that your first interview will always be your worst interview for anyone. But look at the end process. You travel through these 100 days and then look at the end. You will be able to differentiate. You will be having a lot of differences in these 3 months plan. And that is what happened. And I gave my last mock interview in Delhi. And my family, I didn't even look through it, but my family, they saw the interview video and then they said, is this is these two videos being interviewed by the same person? Are you the same person? There are huge differences in your speaking style, the way you construct the answers. So that is what happened. I had a good friends group with which I discussed all through these 3 months, 1 hour, 1.5 hours daily, and I started speaking in English. And I also, it is and the DAF part. It is very essential for us to construct our DAF very wisely because each word in the DAF is going to be a question. There is a possibility. So whatever words you're going to give in the DAF, be very sure about it that you know well, or else you master it all through the preparation process. So, and especially the hobby or the achievements and the sports column, those things that you're going to be that you're going to give in the task, they are potential questions. So, master all those topics. I'll advise you to prepare a notes of 10-15 pages for each topic in your task. For each topic, have at least some 100 questions prepared for each topic and have a complete answer for all those questions. And then if you're going to get those questions, then you will obviously be successful in that interview. And have frequent conversations, be it one-on-one or mock interviews. I used to give one mock interview at least a week, at least one mock interview in a week. I used to give, if not more, and go to mock interviews. They'll give feedback. Sometimes they'll give positive. Sometimes they're going to trash you, and you are going to. But believe me, all those feedbacks you're going to incorporate in your answer. You design your own answers, which will be apt for you. Exhibit your honesty, your ethical values in your answers. Show to the board that you are worthy candidate that they cannot rid of. And if you're going to give all those answers diplomatically, exhibiting your own self, then surely you are having a good chance of clearing the interview stage. And my interview experience, I went to the um, I went to Swine Servo, and I got around 184 marks in that interview. And as usual, I was fearing before entering, like everyone, I was fearing before entering into the interview board. And then my friend who went to the interview before me, he came out and he gave me a positive sign. You're going to do well. The board is very easy. They are optimistic. And then I got boosted, and I was thinking about all those memories, all those sacrifices that I had made for this preparation, my childhood dream, where and all I have said that I'll become a collector one day, and then what are all distractions that I have avoided, what are all sacrifices I have made, how and all I have stayed through this process. I thought all those things in my mind. This half an hour is going to make all those dreams true. And then I went inside the interview. They asked me questions about. The first question was about should we call you Arun or Prakash? They'll start in a very positive note or easy, jovial manner, and then there were a few difficult questions. Like they asked me, since I was from Tamil Nadu, they asked me about the language policy, Kaveri issue, Tamil Nadu and Sri Lankan fisherman issue, and then I think I remember road safety in my lab. They asked me about road safety, road infrastructure development, and then they also asked me about the national integration, India and Pakistan issue, what is the actual issue, how to overcome those issues, and they asked me about in a specific scheme in Tamil Nadu, and then it went for around 30 minutes, and the board was very, very cordial, not like some mock interview boards where they'll be torturing us with difficult questions. The board was asking, of course, difficult questions were being asked, but still they were very cordial to accept my answers. They were smiling, they were saying, why should we do this? Why can't this? They were very cordial, and they were encouraging me to. They were saying, yeah, you're right, you keep speaking. They were constantly encouraging me all through the 30 minutes. Even for 30 minutes, and anyone who went for 30 minutes, they will not know 30 minutes went fast. They will be saying, no, they went, but I came out quickly. They will be saying, but believe me, around 25 minutes would have been gone. So that is the interview. Not you shouldn't be fearing about interview stage at all. You should be looking at each stage. I was looking for prelims still like till I cleared prelims, and then I focused on the mains till I cleared the mains, and then only I started fearing about the interview, and then it also went positively. So focus on each stage. Don't look after the next stage and keep fearing that I don't know answer it or I don't know how to speak. Let the time come and it decide for it itself. So I hope I will travel all through my journey once again for all you guys, and it is very pleasant. Last time, last year by this stage, I didn't have any success. It was a failure for two films, and then the third films I was not very confident, but I've given all my hard work. But now I am speaking before you as a successful person, and since with rank 69 I cannot reach IAS, which was and this will be my passion. I have given another UPSC attempt. This is my fourth attempt, and I have cleared this prelims. Believe me, I prepared for this prelims for just 25 days. I used to prepare for prelims for 1.5 years, and still I failed. But this time I prepared for 25 days alone, and I passed. And I'm going for this means hopefully to get that IAS dream. So it didn't mean that I prepared just for 25 days. It was wholly based on luck. But I have made my investment all through these 4 years for prelims. So even if you are failing in prelims, keep your belief alive. You are making the progress. Differentiate yourself from yesterday and today. Say 1 year before and now. So if you are going to keep on investing, though you might fail in one or two films, believe me, films is a big gate which is stopping you from reaching the higher stages. If you are going to clear the films, then obviously the floodgate will open and you will be reaching mains, interview, and have your name in the rank list. So be very hopeful for the prelims if you are not clear. You are investing in the right direction. Focus on the syllabus where the questions are being asked, look at the POQs, and then study comprehensively, have a good understanding about each topic. It will be very helpful, though if you are not clear this time, you will be clearing the very next time. It is a process. Trust the process and keep going, as Emergency says. And I think I've covered everything. If you guys have any doubt, please ask. And, and I want to give you my three mantras. Keep it as three ratnas of Buddhism. There are three mantras for me, I keep believing. The first thing is to clear this exam, you need the highest patience. You shouldn't be easily deviating away. You shouldn't have much distractions. Obviously, you should have hobbies. You cannot keep studying for 16, 18 hours every day. It is not humanly possible. But you should be restricting yourself. You should be finishing your targets. Finish your targets every day and then entertain yourself. And then watch matches, watch a movie. It doesn't matter. But work on everyday targets. Keep a proper target. Finish it each day. That is the primary thing. And hard work. Keep working hard. This is a very hard path. But believe me, this has a big reward. When you reach, it is your passion, right? It must not pain you. You must be happily working towards it. And if you reach, you'll be reaping big rewards. You are a big tool to change the society. So first thing in my three ratnas coming back. First thing is patience. Have the patience for the service. Keep the flame going. Even if you fail, keep the flame going. That you will reach it one day. And you might give such an interview like what I'm giving now, which I didn't imagine last year that I will be speaking like this today. But the same thing will happen to everyone. Keep your patience. Don't deviate. The second thing is work hard. Every day work hard. You will reach your goal if you keep on working. Your hard work will never go waste. The third thing is be consistent in your preparation. You should prepare on a daily basis. You should not prepare for 1 week, take rest for 1 week. You have day-to-day targets, prepare today, and then if you finish the target, you rest. You find some hobby. And then the next day you have some target, you can keep working. It might not be possible for us to study 8, 10 hours every day, but keep studying. Maybe one day 10 hours, the next day 6 hours, and the next day coming back to 10 hours. You keep studying. It is a process. Be consistent in your preparation. These three are my mantras, and it surely had worked for me. And I wish all you guys good luck, and you will also be successful. And you should be giving these kind of interviews so one day. I'll be watching you. Thank you so much. Is there any doubts? Sorry, there were few interruptions because of my internet connection. Very sorry, guys. There's heavy rain here, and I've given my best. I've had 2, 3 internet connections inside me, and I'm trying to keep it stable. Thank you for your patience. I think I've addressed every queries throughout the day. And thank you for UPSCTIME YouTube channel for giving me this opportunity to speak and share my journey, which is very pleasant for me now, and interact with students here. Thank you. Okay, then there's no more queries. Thank you. Thank you very much.